Hello, it is your lovely host, Goldie, no longer Joe Mama, and we are back with another episode of All About the Stars. And today I am here with,
Julie.
and she will be guiding us through the treacherous waters that is r/lesbian gang. So please introduce the audience to what we're getting to.
So, recently, the topic of gold star lesbians and what is the definition of a lesbian has been a heated source of debate on the subreddit called Lesbian Gang. Today's podcast episode, we're going to be looking over a couple posts and giving our response to them since we know if we commented on Reddit, we would get censored. Of course, we always have to say we are unaffiliated with anyone in these posts or the subreddit. And I have to state this explicitly, only biological females that are homosexual can be gold star lesbians. The trainees can jump.
And demonetized.
Yeah, I guess that's something we should say. We don't make money off the podcast. We're just doing it to spread the GSL agenda.
Yes, the only money I make is from your generous donations. So please, if you can, do that. Anyways, let's continue. So the first post is Compet, correct?
Yes.
Oh God. Let's do this.
So, compet. Lesbians who sleep with men are not lesbians. Controversial take nowadays. Firstly, I'm not talking about countries in which women are in severe danger. I'm predominantly talking about the USA. The only time compet can be used as an argument is when a woman has yet to come out. Dating men to appear a certain way, even then, STX with men can be excused because of compet. The idea of compet is derived from religion, which very strongly and could be argued that it is bashed into our heads much more, that STX before marriage is a sin. So saying, why compet made me is wild. If you truly are not attracted to men, you wouldn't be so willing to. It's on the screen. We have one of the easiest excuses not to. I'm waiting for marriage. No one is forcing you, and if they are, I'm not talking about them. So now you're out socially. The issue before was social fear, which is real and scary, and we all go through it, but you're out. What purpose, if not sexual attraction, would you ever go F a man? You're already out. You already know you're only attracted to women. Now we have all these men thinking they have a chance with lesbians because women are out here calling themselves lesbians to, I don't know, be quirky. There are plenty of labels like queer, bi, pan, and sapphic, even that will get across attraction for women. So, my reaction to this post, when I saw it, I was like, I agree with her somewhat. I don't really think compet is an argument most women can use, and it actually sounds logical. It just sounds like a cope. Basically, I agree with her first sentence. Lesbians who sleep with men are not lesbians. And this was kind of a controversial post on Lesbian Gang, and you'll see that as we continue reading the comments underneath.
She also puts a part at the end. There are plenty of labels like queer, bi, pan, sapphic, even that will get across that the attraction to women. And it's like when you say this, they still get weird and defensive, even though that's terms literally describe them. But they'll be like, "No, I'm a lesbian. I only like women. I only am attracted to women." So then, why did you fuck a man? Answer the question. They don't answer the question.
Well, they're trying to answer the question using the term compet, but compet is a cope.
Honestly, I'm starting to think compet is a circular argument because it doesn't make sense in regards to lesbianism. So,
Before we get into reading the comments, I do have a little spiel about compet. So compet is compulsory heterosexuality. It's a societal assumption and pressure that everyone is inherently heterosexual. And I don't know if many of you guys know this, but compet is a feminist theory. Adrienne Rich popularized the term in the 80s, and then this Gen Z or maybe younger millennial woman called Angeli Luz popularized it again on TikTok in the infamous lesbian master doc. And it truly is infamous because it's so hated, and I'm going to explain why. In regards to Luz, she came out as bi after publishing that document, and then she dropped off the face of the internet. Her document very much argues that women who are attracted to men can be lesbian. And this is straight from page 5 of her document. But I think I've liked men before. You can identify as a lesbian if you've liked men in the past, but no longer are attracted to men or want to pursue relationships with them. Lots of lesbians have dated or had genuine relationships with men before realizing they were lesbians, and that doesn't make them any less of a lesbian. No, that's not first, that's not what a lesbian is. You can be a bisexual woman who dated men, got tired of them, and felt like you only wanted to date women in the future. That doesn't make you a lesbian. You're bi. And regarding Adrienne Rich, I argue Rich was a political lesbian and she pushed polyles rhetoric. She believes that a woman is able to overcome compet by separating herself from men and entering a lesbian relationship to determine if heterosexuality is right for her. She argued that all women can be lesbians regardless of sexual orientation by identifying as a woman identified woman, meaning that the woman's focuses are on the needs and emotions of other women. That sounds nice, but that's not what a lesbian is. And continuing on, the concept of compulsory heterosexuality and being able to reject this notion became a core component of the lesbian separatist movement that began in the 1970s and continued into the 1980s. The lesbian separatist movement, it has a lot of ties with political lesbianism. Now that I read that, let's continue on with these comments. This one is from Super Donut. She says, "This makes me want to unsub. Not everyone looks at sex the same way. I had sex with a man when I was younger and hated it, but I thought I just hated sex. I thought that there was something wrong with me and I needed to hide it. I was pretty young to be doing stuff like that in the first place. It wasn't until I accepted what I truly wanted and had sex with a woman that I realized how much I actually love having sex. Now, if someone was going to say I'm not a lesbian because I had sex with a man over a decade ago, I'd call them an effing idiot, but enjoy your gold star, I guess."
The gold star is more, what's the word? Is more lovable for me than me being called an idiot.
Um,
I will happily take you calling me an idiot because I'm not an idiot. You're an idiot for fucking a man. Goodbye. I wish I could
yes.
downvote this.
My response to that is, I just think you're a bisexual woman with a preference for women. And, you dated men in the past.
Why do they never get that there's a freaking initial attraction? There was something you saw about that man that made you want to do it with him. And just because you didn't like how it turned out does not mean you're not attracted to men. You are attracted to men because you went and sexed them. Like, come on now.
And she continues on, because of misogynistic posts like the one above, having sex with a man doesn't change anything about you. Doesn't matter if you had sex with 1, 10, or 100 before you came out.
Is this real? Where is that?
Yeah. So people who disagree need to go hang out with men who slut shame because they seem to agree on a lot of points. First of all, we're not saying that you're a slut. We're saying that you're bisexual.
Uh-oh, somebody looks a little biphobic on here. Super Dino Nut, you sound biphobic, sounding, women who sleep with men slutty? No, they're just bisexual like you. Don't hate on your fellow bis. That's not nice.
And continuing on, the next comment is from a deleted, but it's underneath the donut one. "I'm not enjoying these so and so aren't real lesbian posts. It's very judgmental and damaging. We've all had complicated histories, and there is more than one path up the mountain, so to speak. Women should be building each other up, not tearing each other down." And then Asparagus Powerful 282 says, "Seriously, there's like 3 a day, and they're all so specific and random. Like, I feel like it's a rant about 1 or 2 people in their personal life rather than an endemic issue in the community. I think it's very
Fucking idiots! Open your fucking eyes! What the hell are you talking about? This is a specific person. It's literally you and you and you and you on this thread right now complaining about this same bullshit. That y'all all fuck men and you're all lesbians, but you're not. And then you always complain, oh, it's because we took a different path up the mountain. Bitch, you're on a whole other mountain, so fuck off. I'm so sick of this. No, you are on a whole other mountain. Absolutely not. You're like in the Appalachians, bitch. I'm on Everest. Okay? We are not the same.
And she can
Absolutely not.
like, obviously it's fine to uphold the definition of lesbian as not attracted to men, but sometimes it feels like people are desperate to prove everyone who isn't a gold star
It's
and
not desperation. It just is or isn't.
and doesn't literally throw up at the thought of seeing a man is bi and secretly loves men. It's so contrary to second wave feminists.
It's not a secret. Give me the mic. It's not a secret because you guys come on here every single day telling me, well, I actually had a boyfriend when I was 16, and oh, I actually had a boyfriend when I was 21, and I actually had a boyfriend when I was 34. It's not a secret because you love to tell everybody all your fucking business. Excuse me.
And
Excuse me?
it's so contrary to second wave feminists joking about how every woman is a lesbian. Like, don't you want more lesbians? Why are you trying to talk someone who only dates women but thinks Henry Cavill is attractive into admitting their love for D or whatever? You know, I think that okay.
This is a troll.
No, I think she's serious. But here's the thing. It's not that we want more lesbians. We just want society.
Nobody wants more of you ugly hoes to be lesbians. Sorry, not sorry.
We don't want more lesbians in the world. We just want lesbians who are in this world to live in a society that respects their sexuality.
Exactly.
And you know,
Nobody wants y'all as these lesbians. We're good. Please stay over here in this subreddit where you can complain about your ex-boyfriend who dumped you last night and now you want to try women. Please stay there because we don't want you. I don't know where they ever got this assumption that we want more lesbians. No, the fuck we don't. We want the ones that already exist, not you new age hoes who always suck dick on the side and then come over here and be like, I want a woman, Sapphic. Can somebody live in my cottage, please? Like, no, nobody wants to live in your cottage because you're broke and ugly. Leave me alone.
okay, continuing on, what I meant to say was okay, this lady continues. A lot of people a lot of people here would say I'm bi because I do think some men are attractive. But I would never be fulfilled romantically or sexually with one. I don't even want to kiss or hold hands with a man. So what's the point of admitting my bisexuality then? Okay, here's the thing, Asparagus. I want to say this. You can be bi, but you don't have to date both men and women. You can date whoever you want to date.
Because you're bi.
And also, you know, there's this thing called the bicycle. And so bi people claim that they feel more attracted towards one sex and then later on they'll feel attracted to like another sex. So that is very exclusive to bisexuals, whereas heterosexual and homosexual people, we experience a very stable and rigid sexuality.
Yes.
And you know, I meant to say this. We don't need more lesbians in the world because as a lesbian, you accept there's like only 1% or
I think it's
less of the population is a female homosexual.
Exactly. We already know there's not a lot. Why the hell do we want more? Oh my god. Imagine if we had more of these type of people. We already have enough to deal with, and all you guys on here, I swear. And another thing, ma'am, I do find him man attractive. Okay, everybody, drop a fucking man you find attractive in the comments right now. Crickets. Because there's no fucking man we find attractive, so shut up! Who? Literally who? Can you name one? She can name, I bet she can name 50. And we're gonna be like, what?
All right, let's continue on with the next post. So I noticed these posts were being made and it felt like some of them were like reactionary posts. So the next one is, why do gold stars get so much hate?
Oh my gosh.
And so this post, OP deleted the post, but we found it on the Wayback Machine
Wait, did OP delete it or did it get deleted?
No, OP deleted the post.
Oh wow, that's unfortunate. Oh, I will read this one. Why do gold stars get so much hate? If you mention you're a gold star to other lesbians, something you think would be safe, even celebrated, it more often than not causes a huge stink. These women interpret your lack of voluntary sexual contact with men as a personal attack and will react defensively or even become openly hostile. I particularly notice this with women who identify with and see themselves in the compulsory heterosexuality concept. I had an interaction with a woman who dated a men for years before coming out. That got nasty after I told her I never even kissed a man. I didn't even use the term gold star, so there was no implied value judgment on her, real or imagined. Her demeanor instantly became passive aggressive, and she started to come up with reasons she slept with men in the past. Religious indoctrination was the big one. We both came from conservative Christian backgrounds, and I pointed out that sex before marriage is a sin and something all three Abrahamic religions condemn without question. I told her I didn't understand how a lesbian could use religion to excuse premarital sex with numerous men. That got under her skin, and she told me I was an incel who couldn't get a boyfriend even if I wanted one. LOL. I got a bit petty, and perhaps I should have just let it be, but she started it. Why do gold stars get under people's skin so much? And I'll tell you why. Men worshiping people. They can't stand the woman who isn't effed by a man. Period. But let's look at the comments.
I actually think most of the comments under this post were pretty pro GSL, which is rare. Yeah, which is rare on Reddit. But of course, in this thread, I saw a trainee claiming to be a GSL. No. If you're not a biological, I don't remember where it is, but I think it was in this thread. If you're not a biological female homosexual, you cannot be a gold star lesbian. And I'm gonna like repeat that in your head a million times. And I guess we can read a couple of comments. We can just read the first one. I think it's because these days the lesbian waters are so murky, people can't even define it. We all have these different groups within, so everyone has their backup from the get go. One group thinks gold stars think they're better lesbians and also feel like they're saying anyone else isn't a lesbian. Yeah, that's definitely this group.
Yes,
Me.
that's definitely me. Because it's fucking true, by the way. It's not an opinion.
Th- And then some gold stars think that's the only definition of being a lesbian.
Because it is.
Then there's other lesbians who supposedly love sleeping with men but still claim lesbian, which makes it harder for everyone else. In a perfect world, we would all be gold stars. I technically am. I never had a P in this V, but it's not a title I claim so much. I did exist for a bit thinking I should like boys/men. All I want is for people to be secure in that they're lesbian and no need for pretend playing it. If you're not, be whatever you actually are. I think, yeah, it's giving a little bit bowing down to the quote other types of lesbians, the non-gold stars. But I do think your comment is very it's very like what is the word? Politically correct.
Yes.
Mhm.
Nuance.
Yeah, it's quote nuanced. But you have to remember the term gold star lesbian was created by non-gold star lesbians to mock women who were proud about being GSLs. Like, we were just proud to be homosexual women, and non-gold stars decided, let's use this term to mock them. But it backfired because
They get so
they get so mad if you proudly proclaim you're a GSL. Because I think some of the self-hatred comes from the fact there are these women that are GSLs, like, and you don't know what background they come from. You don't know if they're poor or rich, although in your head you assume that they're rich and they come from a privileged background.
We're all from America or Canada, and we're all rich.
And so these women, these non-gold stars, they see these GSLs, and in their head they're like, their existence invalidates my existence. I think that's truly the reason why non-gold stars have such a difficult time with gold star lesbians, because our simple existence in this world invalidates a lot of their arguments they cope with. Like compet is a cope. I call it cope sexual. Wait, what do I call it? Cope.
Copet?
No, I call it,
Compulsory?
yeah, compulsory. Compulsory heterosexuality.
Compulsory heterosexuality. That's hilarious.
And I guess we can read this last comment from Inevitable Yam 702. Insecurity, misogyny, and lesbophobia mostly. I came from a very conservative religious background too, and I'm really thankful that I was still able to know myself enough to know I never wanted to be with men. I don't think it makes me better than anyone else. It's just my experience. The entire world is man centric. And I think that fact, some of us resisted the programming, pokes at some of their insecurities that they haven't unpacked yet. You know, I'm I haven't finished the comment, but I do agree with what she's saying. And then continuing on with the comment, I agree with you. We should be able to talk about our experiences. I think it sets a good example for younger lesbians. You don't have to do anything you don't want to because of societal pressure. And I guess that's all from.
You know, this commenter states that we resisted some programming. I don't know about that. It is true that the entire world is man centric, but I don't think us being lesbian means we resisted programming. There was no programming.
In fact, we probably just acted within.
George Orwell or something, bro.
I would argue that we just acted within our sexuality.
Yes. Okay, so the next thing we will go to is
The next post, and this is the post that kind of ended all the drama on this subreddit related, because I think all these were back to back. One, they were all posted either on the same, they might have been posted all on the same day.
that stupid lady being like, "This is a one or two people are doing this."
You know, actually, I didn't realize that I'm so disappointed in this sub was written by Super Dionut.
Oh God.
Yeah, click to the next post. So this is the last post we're going over. And remember, we read her comment in the first post, the compat one. So she tags us venting. I'll keep this short, but I'm just so disappointed in this sub right now. I really love the idea of a sub that's only for lesbians because we have so few spaces left that are only for us, but I keep seeing posts trying to cut real lesbians out of our community, and some of it seems almost misogynistic. If you're a woman that is exclusively attracted to women, you're a lesbian. The end. Yes, there are crazy people who will say they're a lesbian while currently being with men, but we do not need to be hitting people who truly adhere to lesbianism with friendly fire. If
You don't adhere. You don't fit the bill. Oh my God. It's like that one. I am a bill and I'm on Capitol Hill. You bitch, no, you're not the bill. You aren't even on Capitol Hill. You're just some piece of paper flying through the air and you're trying to identify as a bill when you're not. So go away.
if
They're
you
not the bill. They don't fit the bill.
if you had to figure out your sexuality the hard way, you don't need to explain that shit to anybody. No man can taint you. And if anyone wants to sit on a high horse and pick who can be a real lesbian out of a group of people who exclusively date women, I hope you have the nerve to say that to people in real life and not just online.
Oh, I will, and I haven't. I did. I'll do it again. Luckily, not enough people have tried me to where I have to keep arguing with the same person in person. You try me online though, so I'm going to argue with you online. This is simple.
First, a woman who exclusively dates women is not a lesbian.
Honestly, yes.
It could be a bisexual woman too.
Exactly.
So that doesn't mean anything. Oh, okay. She edits, I put in attracted exclusively to women instead of exclusively with women because that one word makes a big difference. Yeah, if you're exclusively attracted to women, you're a homosexual female.
But she's not
The
people on.
problem is if you're exclusively attracted to women, you're going to act a type of way. You're not going to get with men consensually. All right, we're gonna read the comments. And actually, um, you know who made the post for why do gold stars get so much hate? I think she commented, but let's see if her comment's still here. Oh, so she deleted her comment here, but I found it because Super Dionut responds, "Hey, I want to make it clear that I was not referring to your post at all. Gold stars get a lot of hate, and I agree with the post you made, but I will disagree with you saying that no one cares that you slept with men. There are posts specifically judging that last bit on this very sub, and as someone with a not gold star experience, there are some lesbians who can be extremely judgmental of this, even if it's decades ago. It's hard to not be so defensive when you see people downright mocking the struggle of finding your sexuality." And Comfy Art Socks responds, "Yeah, I saw a post talking about any lesbian that has slept with men, specifically lately late bloomers were probably bisexual. Lesbians who sleep with men, despite being socially out, are bi, but people who have done so in the past for various reasons, self-harm, social forces, religious trauma, peer pressure, etc., are still valid. It was in the past, and they likely got very traumatized from it. People really need to stop trying to divide us as a community." So, yeah, all three of these posts are connected together. I don't think she deleted her account. She just deleted any of the posts related. Yeah.
Hey, relatable.
And um, you know, no one would care that you slept with the opposite sex if you ID'd as bi.
Exactly.
The problem is y'all ID as lesbian.
When you don't fit the bill, you are never gonna be the bill on Capitol Hill, unfortunately. You're going to be the piece of paper rolling through the street that people step on every day because you're a liar. You lie to everybody about your life. You lie to yourself about your life. And then you just live a life of lies while everybody's being honest on Capitol Hill.
The thing is, I seriously think women like her, they go to play like I think in real life most people will accept quote a lesbian quote end quote that has been with men in the past.
I won't.
No, like in real life. Like go to any Willowa bar, go to like any queer
That's the
space.
last place to go for valid opinions. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, that's the thing is like the only places that they go to that validate themselves are the same places that validate the rest of the TQ plus.
Exactly. It's all like an echo chamber or something.
Mm-hmm. And then whenever they hear gold star opinions for the first time, they say we're misogynistic, we're bigots.
But any normal person would be like, oh, that makes sense actually.
Yeah, if you just talk to a normal person and like I don't want to say normal person, but if you just talk to like a regular normie and you ask them, "Hey, like which one of these women are lesbian? This gold star or this woman who had multiple boyfriends throughout her life and then decided she was a lesbian. Which one is that an actual lesbian?" They're going to be like, "Oh, the gold star."
Like, oh my gosh.
And it's not misogynistic to say if you had an ex het past, you're not a lesbian. It doesn't make you a bad person, no.
It makes you a bad person if you lie.
It just makes you bisexual.
Exactly. They like to, because they can't get through their heads that they are bi. So when they're constantly like, no, I'm a lesbian, it's like, why are you trying to be so biphobic right now, brother? You're literally being biphobic by implying that any woman who has done it with the man is tainted by lesbian standards. But no, it's not. It's just is or isn't. It's not gold star or non gold star. It's just you are lesbian or you're not lesbian. Women who sleep with men are just bi or het. It's just as simple. You are not a lesbian and you never will be because, like I said, you don't fit the bill.
And this comment, if you go down to Nest 303, it's a little bit further down. She says we're stronger together than divided. Everyone has a different journey
No.
to figuring out their lesbianism. We
Why
should.
do I keep saying that? No, we don't.
Would you like to elaborate?
Okay, we have a shared experience, and that experience is only being attracted to women. Women who experience being attracted to men are not lesbians. How is that like why are these people like always so making everything like complicated when it's really not complicated? It's very simple. You know what I mean? They think too much in the wrong ways. They think themselves into this oblivion and are constantly arguing about their so called lesbianism because you didn't have it to begin with. You're arguing about something you don't have. It's really sad and embarrassing. Oh, these different journeys. It was so complicated to figure out. No, no, it wasn't.
Maybe for them.
Because they're delusional.
Yeah. And she continues with, we should be making a world where there's less of a chance of getting wrapped up in combat or being stuck in abusive environments or needing to engage in survival sex work due to homelessness or being kicked out of home. I will say this.
Oh my God.
More support, less judgment. Are there women who say they're gay when they're really bi? Of course, there always have been. This isn't new, but constantly getting angry at them doesn't do anything to help those who are struggling in the above situations. Because all they hear is, I've been with men, I'm not welcome. You've been with men, so you're not a lesbian, but you're still available to be in bisexual spaces.
Like, oh my God. It's like they're actually biphobic. Me? No. Compared to them? Wow. Like, oh my God, you're not welcome. There are so many bi spaces that will happily take you with open arms. I have myself have a bi friend who doesn't pretend to be a lesbian, and she literally had her first time with a woman, but she knows she likes men. I can't tell you on here. But I have also have het friends, and they happily date their boyfriends and get on with their lives, and they don't pretend to be lesbians either. I welcome them with open arms because they're great people. They're great people. Period. They don't have to lie about something so stupid to be my friend. And you shouldn't have to lie to other people to be in these spaces that clearly don't want you because you don't fit the bill. Remember, you don't fit the bill. So you should go to spaces that want you. And then you should make friends with people other than your sexuality on topics you like instead of trying to be like, I'm a lesbian, guys. When you like, they're just gonna block you because you're lying to them. Like, oh my God.
And this is a little bit like the last podcast we had.
I suppose.
It was like the Twitter space one.
Ah.
In that one, I mentioned that, I think traditionally using the term lesbian was a way for women to, basically to signal to other women that they only wanted to date women exclusively from now on. But that's just not what a lesbian is.
Yeah, exactly.
A lesbian is an exclusively attracted, like from the beginning of her life or from the beginning of her developing a sexuality to the end of her life. That's what a lesbian is. It's like all of her life. It's not just at this current moment. If you feel like you only want to date women presently, but that's not how you felt back in the day, your sexuality is fluid. You're not a lesbian.
Exactly. I'm not gonna be like, oh, more support, less judgment. No, I'm not gonna support you if you're constantly lying to everybody about something so minute. We see the writing on the walls. You constantly write about it online and in your diaries, and we can read it. So why am I gonna sit here and pretend like you're a lesbian just to be a friend and what be have camaraderie and support? No, this is not what's gonna happen. You're gonna tell the truth, and you're gonna call yourself bi, and we're gonna be perfectly fine. And then we're gonna leave each other alone, or we can be friends. It's just simple. Just stop lying all the time.
And if you scroll down a little bit more, Super Dionut says this post doesn't invalidate gold stars. I'm not Speaking on the Gold Star experience, there are 2 recent posts here saying that lesbians with previous sexual experiences with men are not real lesbians. I would say this would make many people rightfully defensive. And the fact that so many people are defensive about that, maybe it's because y'all aren't lesbians.
Maybe it's because you're saying something wrong. Wow. Oh my god, Dionuts.
And that Tumblr lesbian says this. I feel that a lot of people here are also baby gays and looking at things as black and white. Invalidating other lesbians sometimes seems as if they were still questioning themselves and didn't want to find out they themselves were bisexual. I agree that if you enjoy sex with a man, you're not a lesbian, but I disagree about being with a man while hating it and living in a country slash town for slash family where you're oppressed for that reason, meaning you're not a lesbian. It also wasn't as easy to be out just 10 years ago. A lot of us had to deal with internalized homophobia apart from the homophobia from people, so no, the world is not black and white. Okay, the world is not black and white, true, but sexuality is.
Yes.
For some reason, the only sexuality that's respected is heterosexuality. We know being straight is very black and white. You're attracted to the opposite sex only.
That's it.
When you're homosexual, it is black and white. You're only attracted to the same sex from the beginning of your life to the end of your life. And if that fluctuates throughout your lifetime, if you have a fluid sexuality, you are not lesbian.
Come on, man. It's just that simple.
And honestly, I guess that's it for this Reddit episode. That was a drama on this lesbian gang subreddit. I do think this subreddit is a little better than the other ones, like Actually Lesbian or Lesbian Actually. Those ones are awful. Those ones are mostly men. So far I can tell lesbian gang is mostly women. Um the ones who
Why
aren't.
are the men getting mad at me for being a gold star? That's crazy. Remember in the episode, all of them were calling me freaking KKK member.
Oh, I don't know.
How can I be a member?
Trust. Goldie cannot be a member of the KKK. In fact, those people would be coming for you.
They probably are considering they're literally coming for me while calling me them. Why does that always happen?
I don't know.
That's insane.
But yeah, I do like this subreddit for the most part. Um Again, we're not affiliated with the subreddit. I know they're doing their best to stay up and follow Reddit's rules, very oppressive rules. So, I give them props for that. But I just noticed those 3 posts were all interconnected with each other. And I asked Goldie, hey, can we make a video podcast about this subreddit because it's very interesting. There's a lot of members, and they've been able to evade the Reddit bans, which I find very interesting.
Wow.
Anything else you want to say?
I just want to say if you don't fit the bill, then you can't come on Capitol Hill.
And I'm open to having I'm open to the idea of bisexuals who exclusively want to date the same sex. I think that's amazing. I don't think it makes them a lesbian. And I get irritated when these type of women try to compare themselves to a lesbian. You're not a lesbian. So, kind of stay in your lane. No offense.
Capitol Hill.
But yes, we have. Oh, I guess this is where we should end the podcast. But before that, I just want to say we do have a Discord server for GSLs only. There's a pretty strict verification. If you are interested, please let us know in DM us on Instagram or Twitter. Those are the best places to find us.
Yes. If you try to email me, I might not respond for a month. So
And, if you like the episode and the podcast, please like, subscribe, and comment. And Goldie also has Buy Me Coffee that you can contribute to if you'd like. And I guess that's it for now.
Thank you all for watching this super strange episode. And all you on Reddit, you need to get it together because I don't know how you deal with the platform that censors you all the time. Where I'm at, we are free to freedom. Anyways, see ya.
Bye.